So we've been reaching out to startups to find out how big a pataka the Diwali season has been. We've had the likes of Paytm as well as Cardeko says that it's been a firecracker of a Diwali season, not witnessing a slowdown at all. Let's touch base with a different kind of a startup. Today we're going to put the spotlight on Pepperfry to find out if more furniture and home accessories were indeed sold during the Diwali season. You know, this is typically the time when you see people moving in. It's an auspicious time, people refurbish and all of that. So joining me now is the Chief Marketing Officer at Pepperfry, Kashyap. Thank you so much. First of all, festive greetings from the entire team at Startup Central. How is business for Pepperfry? Did you have a good Diwali season, Navratras, Dussehra, name it? Was it a good festive season for you folks?
Yes, absolutely. A very happy festive season to you all also at Startup Central. This festive season has been actually one of the best in the last 3 years. Typically, what we notice during festive season is that as we are leading up to the festive season, consumers do tend to, start looking at postponing their decisions to buy during Diwali and Diwali and Navratras. So those 30 days, we typically see an explosion of almost 60 to 70% increase in sales. And that's what we've been seeing every year. But this year, it's been actually a much better year. We've almost kind of doubled our consumer interest and also the sales that we were able to achieve. It's been, I think, a big rebound in consumer sentiment. We all did not see a slowdown during Jazz also, but this festive season was particularly good.
So, you know, when you say that your sales peaked this festive season, would it also be because, you know, now many more consumers know about Pepperfry or your penetration has improved, or do you think it's actually a case of sentiment? What's your reading?
So, if I look at the general year-on-year trend, our business has been growing by close to about 50%. Okay, so yes, the brand is stronger than ever. More people are aware of the brand than before. It also reflects in the traffic that we get. We get almost 10 million people visiting our site currently, compared to, like, let's say about 7.5 million during last year. So yes, more people are visiting. That all of that is translating into close to 50% growth rate. But during the festive season, like I mentioned, we've seen an acceleration of this growth rate by another 30-40%. So I think this festive season, the way in which I think all the online players basically planned out all the sales, all the offers, I think it generated a huge positive sentiment also. So while the rest of the year was going at about 50%, we've seen like a 80% kind of a jump during these 30 days. So I think part of it is the broad growth rate, and part of it is particularly the interest in the category during the festive season.
So any instructions from Ashish after this festive season, the board, still are you on track to meet profitability, to actually be profitable by next year? Or do you think you can advance it after this firecracker of a season?
So, I think one of the things that we've taken on as a commitment to ourselves and to the organization is that whatever growth that we deliver to it with a lot of financial responsibility and in line with the financial architecture that we set out for ourselves. The financial architecture that we set out for ourselves is calling for a break-even during the next year, and we are completely on track for it. All the numbers that we achieved during this season are in line with the plans that we set out. So there won't be any change in our focus. We will continue to focus on breaking even next year. And the growth that we are witnessing is supporting that path to breaking even. So this growth is financially responsible growth. It's not growth at the cost of margins. It's growth along with margins. So the strategy that we laid out, that we've been talking about over the last 6 months, that's something that we will be sticking to, and it's playing out as per our intent.
So tell me something now, have you had enough time to study the data, or what has done well this festive season? Sales are up, but what were the top sellers, for example?
So the top 4 or 5 categories don't change too much. There will be a little bit of a difference in individual growth rates, but typically from in our business, the top selling categories are beds, sofas, wardrobes, and dining sets. These are larger items. They are higher average sales price. And they contribute to the bulk of the furniture that is bought on the various Pepperfry formats, both online and offline. One other category that we see a very, very big jump during this season is actually our lamps and lighting category. That's another category that actually takes off substantially starting from mid-September itself, and it continues through October and even early into November.
I have to ask you this as well. You don't have to get into too many of the specifics, but I'm sure a lot of consumers today are worried when they see what's happening at your competitor, Urban Ladder. I'm sure a lot of the vendors, you must be having common vendors between the two sites as well, right? Has that had any impact on your business at all? I would imagine that maybe you would actually see consumers switch over more to Pepperfry.
See, I won't be able to specifically comment on what's happening with other players in the market, but I think what we've been witnessing is our offering to the market is actually very, very different. Our offering to the market when it comes to the supply that we offer supply right from mass products to mass premium to high end of the premium. From a design perspective, we cover everything from modern furniture to contemporary furniture to ethnic furniture to colonial furniture. So this offering that we provide in terms of width of design styles, width of price ranges, it's very, very different from the offering that other players have been offering or have been trying to offer. And I think the consumers that come to us span a very wide range of spectrum, right from the value seekers and early home shoppers, right up to people who are doing up their second, third homes or looking up to do a luxury, furnish their farmhouses in a luxurious manner. So we appeal to a very, very wide segment, and I think when we appeal to a wider segment across a range of styles and prices, our business is much more broad-based, and despite being a broad-based business, it's growing very healthily. Like I said, we've been witnessing close to 50% growth rates, actually not just this year, but this is something that we've been witnessing for almost 24 months. So it's a very consistent growth rate. So the problems that other players might have in the market might be reflective of other business structures, other offerings. As far as our consumers are concerned, their interaction with us, their interest in us as reflected by the traffic or as reflected by number of apps that, just our app install base is growing so tremendously. I think it's a one-on-one relationship that our customers have with us for the offering that we provide to them, and therefore that's moving along very healthily.
So what's next? What can we expect? You're kind of ruling the roost over here. Is it going to be maybe a better geographical penetration? Or are you going to look at new businesses, new spin-offs? What's next at Pepperfry?
So I think one of the things that we've taken up is obviously the expansion of our offline footprint. Towards the same time last year, we were close to 40 odd studio Pepperfry options. Right now we are about 67, so we've added 27 in the last 9 months, and that's a strategy that we will be executing over the next 6 to 9 months. We're looking at anywhere between 25 to 30 more studios that come in. So what this is doing is it is helping us to expand into newer localities in some of the metros, but also it's helping us to open up many more new cities. We were present only in about 14 odd cities as of the end of last year. Right now we are well into late 20s. We are at the 26th, 27th city. So it will help us to expand into more cities. It will help us to expand our concentration in some of the larger cities. So that's something that's a focus. We've seen this studio business work out very well for us. Right from building awareness, building familiarity, engaging with the customer, helping them to give the customers a good idea of our offering, and also we see that when studios open, the neighborhoods and the cities respond very well. We see the business in the neighborhoods and the city go up. So that's something that we'll be continuing with. Apart from that, I think one of the secret sauces for our success has really been our ability to launch house brands. The house brands are really built around different design styles and different materials and different, they're targeted towards different consumer segments. We will be looking at expanding the range in our house brands categories. We already have about 10 house brands, and each of these house brands are very well positioned. So going forward, the next step would be to actually increase the range within the house brands, because these are highly profitable, these are very unique, these are not easily replicable in the market, and consumers will have a great choice and you know, to do up their house in many different styles. So I think these two things are going to be key focuses. The third area of focus for us will really be around using technology to kind of expand our footprint. So we've always had augmented reality in our app. You know, over the last 2.5, 3 years, we are in the process of actually implementing a much more enhanced augmented reality piece. So through our app, the experience that customers can have in terms of checking the products out, placing them in their own you know, virtual living room. All of this helps customers to get a better idea about the product, a better idea about the look of the room, and all of this help in help in them to take better decisions. And for us, it results in more conversions and business growth. So using technology on the one side, using expanded footprint on the other side, expanding the house brand offering is one more pillar that we have. All of these pillars will help us to kind of move forward towards the goal that we've been talking about, getting profitable, continuing to lead the market growth. So those are really the big ticket items for us.
And IPO? IPO?
Yes, Ambrish, our CEO, has talked about, yes, absolutely. No, so I think as we have mentioned, you know, IPO I think is on the roadmap. I think the first step would be in terms of achieving profitability and scaling the profitability, and I think subsequent to that, the next step would be the IPO at the right time.
Yeah, that's something you've learned from WeWork, huh? I think that all startups should have learned from WeWork, right? That I don't know how they got it so horribly wrong with the backing of SoftBank, but I think that's a clear lesson that has been learned.
Yeah, I think, you know, focus is, I think when a business is growing, and, you know, the focus should be on fundamentals. I think that is the reason why whenever we talk about the context of the IPO, we are first talking about profitability. You know, you achieve profitability, you're showing consistent returns, you know, the business is on a solid ground, you're not burning through money, and I think that actually should be the first step before you start thinking about IPO. And yeah, I know some of the Silicon Valley experience has been different. They've been far more aggressive and they've been too optimistic, I think, and I think the market has not reacted well to that. But our approach is going to be very solid, very focused on, you know, actually doing the right thing first in terms of getting to the break even and profitability, and then thinking about, you know, going public.
And with that, Kashyap, I'd like to thank you for taking the time out and for joining us here on Startup Central. Here's wishing the entire team at Pepperfry all the very best.
Thank you so much. All the best to you too.